Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for Library Storytime. I'm so glad that you're tuning in. Our theme today is foxes, and your craft will be making a cute little fox. You'll have a paper plate, and you can glue on tissue paper, the glue on the black circles. The eyes should be sticky back. You'll get that. Ears and a pom-pom for a nose, and you can create a beautiful fox. Now, foxes are predators. And what is a predator? A predator is an animal that eats other animals for food. And foxes are predators. They hunt, are very keen hunters. They have great sense of smell and hearing, and so they survive by hunting smaller animals to eat, and that's how they survive. So we have many books in the library about foxes, so you can come and we'll show you where they are in the nonfiction, and you can read more facts about foxes. But today we have some fun stories about foxes, and here is Do Like a Duck Does by Judy Henley. Now, in this story, the fox, remember, fox is a predator, and that means it eats other animals to survive. And what do you think would be a good meal for a fox? Well, of course, chickens and ducks. And here's little ducks, which would be a good meal. It's sad, but that's nature. And in this book, you'll see this fox. And this fox wants to eat some ducks, but we'll find out what happens. Do Like a Duck Does by Judy Henley. Do like a duck does. Now here's a duck. 5 little ducklings following their mother. Whatever any duck does, so does every other. There's 5 ducklings. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're following their mother. So they waddle and they hop and they scuttle and they stop. Flop, 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 all together. Quack, says Mama Duck. That's the way to be. Do like a duck does. Do like me. Quack, quack. There go the ducklings all in a line. But who's creeping close, following behind? It's Mr. Fox. Wait, says Mama, you don't belong with us. Stop, says Mama, do you think you're a duck? Oh, but of course, says the stranger with a waddle and a strut. That's just what I am, a big brown duck. Is that a duck? No. Well, he has no feathers, and he has no beak. He has 4 claws on his hairy, scary feet. He has 2 ears that stick up a mile, and a wicked foxy nose, and a wicked foxy smile. So Mama says, well then, do like us. Head up, tail up, toes pointing out. Stretch your little wings, dear. Straighten up your back. Do like a duck does. Quack, quack, quack. Then Mama leads them off together. Hump, hump, hump. 5 little ducklings and a big brown duck. A hairy, scary stranger. A very silly duck. Is that a duck? No. Look, says Mama, what a lovely patch of muck. Jump in the puddle, dear. Show you're a duck. Lots of bugs and beetles swimming in the scum. Open up your beak, dear. Yum, yum, yum. And there they are in the muck. Now, the very hairy stranger has some notions of his own, and he's looking at the ducklings when he says yum, yum. and he's creeping ever closer, and he's very, very near. But Mama turns and catches him and says, "Look here, you don't like bugs. You don't like muck. You can't say quack. Are you sure you're a duck?" What do you think? "Yes, I am," says the stranger. "It's really, really true. I can waddle, I can scuttle, I can strut a little too. I'm a duck, I'm a duck, I'm a duck like you." So Mama says, "Show it. Prove you're a duck. Do like a duck does. Do like us." Then they zip through the thistles and they slip into the river. Plop, 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 all together. Look at Mr. Fox going in. Down go the ducklings, all tails up, and down goes the stranger, glub, glub, glub. There goes the stranger, glub, glub, glub. So, where are all the ducklings now? Here they all come. Pop, 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 pop. Every one. But where's the very hairy, scary stranger? Do you see him? He's gone home. There he goes. He's gone home. "Well," says Mama, "what a bit of luck. But I really always knew that that was no duck." And there they go, and there goes that fox. He didn't like that water too much. And there he goes. He's going to leave them alone. And that's do like a duck does. There were 5 little ducklings in that story. And so let's count our ducklings that we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 little ducklings. Let's sing that song. I bet you know it. 5 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mama duck says quack, 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 but only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck says quack, 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 and only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck went quack, 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 very loudly, and 5 little ducks came running back. Quack, quack, quack. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little ducks came running back. Very, very good. That's 5 little ducklings. Very good. Now our last story is going to be right here on our flannel board. And you can see there's a duck swimming in the pond. And there is going to be a very hungry fox. And that's our book called The Hungry Fox and the Foxy Duck by Kathleen Leverage. And by saying foxy duck, that means that duck is very clever. And that duck knows that when a fox comes near, remember, predator, that he has to think quick. And that's what happens in our book. Let's find out how this little duck outsmarts that fox. The Hungry Fox and the Foxy Duck. Not far from here, there once lived a very wise little duck. Right here. All day long the little duck would swim and sun herself. Life was peaceful on the pond in the field. Here's the green field with a fence all around. So there's a fence all around the green field. Now one day, a very hungry fox came to the edge of the pond. He was hungry, 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 and that duck looked very good. Come and have breakfast with me, Fox called to Duck. So the fox said, "Oh, come have breakfast with me." Oh, but Duck looked at Fox, and Duck knew that Fox wanted to eat him. And so that little duck had to think very, very quickly. "How can we eat breakfast without a table?" she asked. "Oh, wait here," said the fox, "and I will get a table." And so that fox ran across the field, went under the fence, through the forest, and he came to the woodcutter's hut. And in that hut, there was a table. Now, no one was around, so guess what? That fox just took that table and brought it back to the pond where the duck was. And Fox said, "Okay, here's the table. Let's have breakfast." But little Duck thought, "Oh, I don't want to get too near that fox. That fox really wants to have me for breakfast." So that little duck thought and said, "You're too late. I ate while you were gone. Now it's almost time for lunch." "Well then," said Fox, "come have lunch with me." But that little duck said, "Now how can we have lunch without plates and cups?" Oh dear. The fox said, "Okay, stay right there. I'll go get plates and cups." And so that fox ran through the green pasture, under the fence, through the forest, until he came to the potter's house. And there were plates and cups, but no one was home. And guess what that fox did? He stole some plates and cups. The fox said, "Oh, they won't miss a couple." He ran back through the forest, under the fence, back to the table and put the plates and cups on the table. "There," said Fox, "now there's our table. There's plates and cups. Now, come have lunch with me." Well, that little duck thought he was swimming in the middle of the pond and said, "You're too late. I've already had lunch. Now it's almost supper time." "Oh, it is indeed," said Fox as he licked his chops. He was looking at Duck thinking, yes, that would make a nice supper. He was tired and cranky and hungry for roast duck after all that running. So the little duck had to think quickly. "How can we eat without a tablecloth?" she asked. "Oh, if I get a tablecloth, then will you eat supper with me?" demanded Fox. "Yes," said the little duck. "Well, then wait right there. I'll get a tablecloth." And so once again, that fox had to run across the field, under the fence, through the forest, and came upon a house that had the laundry out. And there on the line was a tablecloth. It happened to be a red tablecloth. So, you know what Fox did? Fox just took that tablecloth and he ran back with the tablecloth. And here's the tablecloth. And, he couldn't wait to have roast duck for supper. The little duck was swimming in the middle of the pond. "Here's the tablecloth," called Fox. "Come have supper, Duck." Well, that little duck knew that Fox was trying to trick her. And so That little duck said, I don't think that tablecloth's big enough. Oh, it's big enough, said Fox, and he began to wave it so that the duck could see that the cloth was big enough. Oh, and it was a red cloth, and Fox was waving the red cloth, and then that was when Fox discovered why that field had a fence all around. Because when he waved that red cloth, Mr. Bull came charging at Fox. Then Fox learned why the field had a fence all around. Because you see, bulls, and I'll show you a picture of a bull, which is a male cow. Here's a bull. It's been said they do not like red. And so when you wave red, make sure you do not wave it in front of a bull, because the bull, and here's the bull, here will come charging. And the bull came charging, and the fox went running. So sadly to say, well, great for duck, Fox did not have duck for supper. But Fox went on his way, and he had to hunt some more for his supper. And our last page says, Fox never came back. Duck lived happily. Life was peaceful on the pond, in the field, with a fence all around to keep the bull in. And here's a picture of the bull. A bull has horns. This is a bull. And that's why that field had a fence, to keep the bull in. And when that fox waved that red tablecloth, that bull came charging, and away Fox ran. And then Fox had to go on, try to find something else for dinner. And there he goes. And that's a hungry fox and the foxy duck. That little duck was very clever to trick that fox, because that little duck knew that fox wanted to eat him for dinner. Well, very good. Thank you for joining me today for Storytime. Remember to come to the Reader's Theater, because you get to make your own little fox and have tissue paper. I think it's orange. You can put orange and some red and a pom-pom nose and some pointy ears and eyes, and you can make your very own fox. Foxes are very clever creatures. They have to be, because they're predators, and to survive, they do have to hunt. And so that's our story time today. So glad you joined us. Keep up your great job of summer reading. Remember, it's 30 hours, and you can even count this, because you can listen as well as read stories. So thank you for joining me today. Have a lovely rest of your day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.